Hello, amazing, wonderful you. This is Susanna Mittermeier. Happy, inviting you to what else is possible for you, facilitating change. Oh my goodness, this is a topic that there's so much to say. I've been playing this for many years now, and both for myself and also working with other people. It's like, how many of you guys out there, have this have this sense of what else is truly possible for me in my future, and knowing that you've always been different. And this is one of the elements that, if you start to realize how different you are, how truly different you are in the way you view the world, in the way you be, things start to get much easier. So welcome to this Facebook Live, or whatever it's called technically. Susanna Mittermeier here, inviting you to what else is possible to facilitate change, featured by Pragmatic Psychology. And I'm truly excited about this. Like, facilitation means making things easier. It comes from a Latin word, facil, which means easy. So basically, when you are choosing to be a facilitator, you're an easier maker. And in the best of cases, it's not only about making things easier for other people, but also applying this to yourself. Because again, like it started in the beginning, how different are you? How much more ease and joy do you desire and choose than most people around you? And once you truly acknowledge that, things start to get easier. Like when I started, I was working as I tried to be a normal psychologist and therapist. That didn't last very long. I always had this wish of, okay, what else is possible? How else can we facilitate change for people? And when, I had this wish, like I met people, patients, clients, and I always had this wish for them to know how awesome they are beyond their so-called limitations and diagnosis. And I always had this wish for people to realize that life can be so much ease and things could work much better for them. And you notice when I say that, there's a little bit of a point of view there. And so how many of you have this thing of, I wish for people to be happier. I wish for other people to create a life that works for them. Well, that is a wonderful thing. That's a very wonderful thing to wish for people. And if you add an awareness about what other people truly desire, things would work much more expansive for you and your life and your business and all your creations. Because it's one thing to desire something for other people, and it's a whole different playground when you add an awareness of, wait a second, how much ease and possibilities does this person truly desire? And what are they not desiring? So when you add your awareness of the functional reality of the other person, well, functional reality means basically how they function and how they choose to function in the world. So when you add your awareness about how the other person chooses to function, like what are they desiring to choose? How much change and ease do they truly desire? And how much change and ease do they not desire? Both parts. Then you can have your awareness of what else is possible You add your awareness of how they function, and from that, you can navigate your facilitation in a totally different way. Because let's face it, like most modalities out there are about creating a result. Most modalities are about getting somewhere, getting someone somewhere. And as amazing as that is, it is much more empowering to truly, truly have no projections and no expectations and no judgments where the class or the session is supposed to go. Is it a challenge? Definitely. It's a courageous, adventurous space of being out of control, out of definition, out of limitation, out of form, structure, and significance. And it's truly where you work with someone and you're just like a cool, big question mark on legs and going, okay, what's up? What is possible with this person? What is not possible with this person? What would they like to get out of the session? What change are they choosing now, and what are they not choosing? And now apply that to everyone in your life. Apply that to your kids, apply that to your partner, apply that to your parents, your family. Holy moly, like how much change are you trying to impose on them? How much change are you trying to force on them? And well, if you wouldn't, what truly could be created and how much faster would change would be able to be facilitated? So let's, if you turn it around, like how many people did you have around you up until now who wanted you to change? Like take your parents or your teachers or your lover, your man, your woman, your children. How much change have people up until now forced on you and pushed on you? So what was your response? What was your response? Yippee-yay, I'm going to do this. Thank you for pointing it out. Thank you for pointing out what else I could choose. Or was your response more like an itch in your middle finger, or both of them, trying to rise up and and resist the person's wishes for you to change? Well, most of us are more like teenagers than we want to know. When somebody wants something from us, we so desire to resist it and fight it. And that's exactly the other way around when you work with other people, whether it's your friends, your family, or your clients. What if, we can talk about it, but what if you right now, while I'm talking, ask for that space? What if you right now, while I'm talking, go, okay, wait a second. I hear what she's saying, and what would that be? What would that space actually be for me to have no point of view on me or other people, no expectations, no expectations, no judgments, and just go, hi, what's up? So what if you right now, while I'm talking, perceive that space? Because one of the things that I've noticed is you can talk all you want about space, but there's a point where you got to choose to be it for you to receive it. And that's something that I realized so much in the therapy work that I did. It was a lot about talking and not much about being. This is still something that might be more talked about in that line of work in the future. That's why I'm doing pragmatic psychology, and that's why I'm doing keynote speeches at conferences, because that's a totally different paradigm that is starting to be asked for. Because again, like working with your clients and the thing that I just introduced about you not having a point of view, no judgments, no expectations. of your children, your clients, yourself. Like, talk about it. But again, pull in that space. Like, what would it be like if you would be that space of, hi, total allowance, no point of view, no expectations, no judgments, no rejections, and allow that person to choose things that don't work for them, allow that person to choose things that work for them, and having no point of view if it's too little change or too much change or too fast or too slow. And notice when there's a point of view in your world emerging. And how do you know if there's a point of view emerging? Because things get contracted, things get heavy. And all you got to do is notice the point of view, acknowledge the point of view, and then let it go. And then what else is possible beyond it? What space of ease, of invitation to greatness can I be? Because when you be it, the person next to you, they get it much easier than you talking about it or you pushing it in their face. So again, what would that space of total allowance for you and other people be? So what if you pull that into your body now? And if you need some help, where do you know that space from? Where in your surroundings do you know that energy from? Maybe it's your cat, maybe it's your dog, maybe it's the grass outside or a tree outside, or maybe you know it from the ocean or from walking in the woods. Then pull that space in. Get the energy of the woods, the tree, the mountains, the cat, dog, and pull that space into your body. And notice how your body goes, thank you. That's where you can create your life from. That's where you can facilitate from much easier. It's like that space of relaxation, that space of being. And now notice, like we talk about facilitating change. Well, facilitating change is not only when you are in your office, having your clients, or when you sit in front of people and having a class, or, when somebody pays you for, advice or coaching. Facilitating change actually occurs all the time if you wish. Like if you only are a facilitator of change in whatever form you are, whether you're a coach or a facilitator or a teacher or a parent, if you only limit it to those moments, like how much do you have to put on a role of, now I'm a teacher, I'm in teacher mode. Now I'm a parent, I'm in a parent mode. Now I'm a, psychologist. Now I'm in psychologist mode. It's like, notice like that role immediately creates a contraction in your world and your body. And it's like, can you really be you? Can you really be that space that we just invited before? No, not really. Anytime you put on a role, you have to make yourself become something that you're not. So what if you, rather than limiting being a facilitator to those moments where you've decided now it's my time to be the facilitator, what if you let that go? Thank you. And what's possible beyond that? So what if you are a facilitator nonstop? What if you are a walking, talking facilitator of change? What if you're a walking, talking facilitator of possibilities? No matter where you are, no matter what title you have or not have. Because if you limit it to a role or a title, oh my God, can you really let out everything that's, everything that everything you want to invite the world to? No, you can't. But if you embrace being a facilitator, a walking, talking facilitator, no matter where you are, no matter when you are, wow, how much more access do you have to your unique creativity, to your unique way of bringing possibilities to the world? So notice what that is changing in your world and what space that is creating. Different. So what else is possible? And from being that walking, talking facilitator nonstop, it's like, ask yourself, okay, so what future would I like to bring to the world? And don't think about the how. Don't think about, oh, it has to be in this form or this way. Just that question, what future would I like to bring to the world? Because that's one of the things that I noticed was missing in when I tried to be a normal psychologist and therapist. It was all about getting things right. It was all about doing things right. Like, all the textbooks where you read about psychologist says la la la, client answers la la la, and then they go back and forth, and it's this beautiful, perfect display of psychology and therapy. And then you are in a like normal situation, and you sit in front of a client, and all you think about, what did that person in the book say? What should I say when person XY says this? And then you're all in your head trying to get it right, and all you do is thinking you get it wrong. So can you then really be present with the client? No. So most of what's in this reality, what's been handed to us, is this is the way you do it and this is the way you don't do it. So you always have to, box yourself into something rather than, wait a second, what future would I like to bring to the world? How would I uniquely like to facilitate change for me and other people? And that gives you a totally new space, a totally much bigger playground to navigate from. How much more information can you also receive from the client when you are not trying to get it right? When you're not in your own head and go, oh God, what else should I say now? What tool should I give them? What would be the right question to ask here? Like, whenever you do that, you go into the past. Like, you think about what just occurred with your client, and then you are lost in that past rather than, being in the now and going, okay, so what information, what download am I getting from the client now? What energetic download am I getting? What words are they using? Are they matching? And what else can I facilitate there? What am I aware of? Because then you can really use your awareness to your advantage and open up new spaces. So it's like, basically, if you compare someone skiing downhill and, in those competitions, and they have to go really fast by those goals. I don't know if you guys, are into skiing, but I'm from Austria. So I grew up with skis, basically. More than, like, before I learned to walk, I was on skis. So like when you ski downhill and you ski by those goals, like if you want to be really fast and you miss one goal and you think about it and go, oh gosh, I missed that goal, like you missed the whole run down. So you can't think about what occurred 5 seconds ago. You can't think about what occurred 10 seconds ago, because then you're not present for what is. And what's really, really important when you facilitate someone is to be super present in that very moment. Because in every moment, people present an energy that if you are aware of it, you can catch it and you can go, wait a second, what did you just say now? Because the limitations that the client presents to you, they usually say it in a throwaway phrase. And if you're aware and you can go, wait a second, what did you just say? What did you just try to brush over? Can you say that again? And then you can go, are you like, what is that? Is that a lie you bought? Is that true for you? Then you can ask them a question for them to find out what's true for them. Because that's, I think my internet is a bit rough. That's when the energy goes quick, then my internet goes, blah. But that's exactly what is required for you to catch the energy, because there, most of the times, you can, pinpoint where people have bought a lie and then contribute to them accessing what's true for them that they probably haven't considered. Because most people have bought a lot of lies. And then they say, oh, my problem is I'm afraid, or my problem is I'm angry. And then you ask them some questions and you realize that's not at all what's going on. Like the anger, the fear is just distracting them from what's actually true for them. So there's so much to this. There's so much to this, different paradigm of creating change. And gosh, I could, keep on talking a lot about this, but if you are a practitioner out there, if you are someone who like facilitates change, I hope for yourself too, because that has to be included all the time, but also for other people. It's like, what if you are not about trying to get it right or doing it like other people do? What if you unleash your unique way of doing so? Because that's, if you choose your unique way of doing so, you become irresistible to the world. You become irresistible to clients. They're going to seek you out. Like I remember when I was doing psychotherapy in a psychiatric hospital, and so clients came to the reception, and the receptionist would ask them, "So, what kind of therapy would you like?" Because there's so many different types of therapy with different names, and they, are doing different things. And the patient says, "I don't know. I want to go to this person." Yeah. And the receptionist would reply, "Yeah, but what kind of therapy would you like? Would you like the psychodynamic or the cognitive?" And the patients would always say, "I don't know. I don't know what kind of therapy I want. I just want to go to that person because I looked them up on the internet and I want to go to her or to him." So, and that was something that struck me from the beginning. It's not about like the modality you do. It's not about the thing you do and whatever it's called. That's a contribution, but the source of change is you. The source of change is you being you. And that's probably the easiest and at the same time the hardest thing. So that, my friends, and much more is my invitation to you. So this is something that pragmatic psychology has to offer in form of books. I've written 4 books. You can find all of them wherever you buy books. They're called Pragmatic Psychology, Advanced Pragmatic Psychology, Fairy Tale Family, and one children's book that's called Who is Henry? And there are podcasts out there. You can get a free podcast every second week about this different modality. It's called Pragmatic Psychology Be the Peacock. You find it on Spotify and all the different places, and there are classes. So we have classes called Pragmatic Practitioner Classes, which is all about finding out what you uniquely know about creating change, whether you're a parent or a facilitator or a coach or just like a hairdresser or someone who wants to get their way of facilitating change out there in the world. And how much is this what the future is asking for us to create? It's like people are looking for something different right now more than ever. So what if you make yourself available? And making yourself available is not about trying to get it right or being the best or comparing yourself with other people. Again, it's about finding your unique way, accessing your unique way of creating change. So those classes are out there, pragmatic practitioner classes. And if you have any questions, just, email me, info@susannahmittermeier.com, or, look on the web pages, or, if you have any ideas, ask, let us know. I'm happy to have ideas come in about, topics for podcasts or other classes. But, yeah. And Jürgen was posting the link to the next pragmatic practitioner class. It's in Italy at the castle, our castle in Italy. I love our castle. It's such a nurturing, yummy space of receiving and being. And this class is also online. It's at a very convenient time for people around the world. And holy moly, am I looking forward to that, especially right now. Imagine if you would be what you truly be with facilitating change. Again, how irresistible would you be for the world? And it's now the time. So, my friends, thank you for joining in. Thank you for considering knowing what you know about this. And there's more to come and more to enjoy. And big kisses from Austria to you. Mwah. Ciao. Bye.